Okay, let's do a quick one today regarding time zones. As you can see, my local time zone is 12 something. Let's start RybaFish. It's gonna be in the same time zone, obviously, 12 something. Let's connect to HANA database. And you see grid already changed because the HANA database is in different time zone, 3 hours ahead. And this is also reported on top in most recent builds. So let's check what data do we have. We have some CPU spike around 7, please remember that. And we have most recent data around 15. And in most cases, this is enough. We don't care. We always work with system time zone. We report in system time zone, and that's what I prefer because we have also logs in system time zone and so on and so on. But sometimes it might be not enough. So let's see what we have regarding that currently. We have this dialog that shows two different values, time zone delta and timestamps shift. Let's check this one first. It reports 3 hours ahead. Let's change it to 0. Nothing changed yet, but now I refresh. And we have this CPU spike around 7, and the other one around 15 we don't see because grid itself changed, but the data is on the same timestamps. That's very important. So let's check what do we have around 15. We still have the same CPU spike, and we still have, obviously, data available around 15. So data is reported on the same place on the timeline, but the grid layout changed. So if I have this empty, I will only have data aligned to my local time zone, which is not very useful. So what can be done actually next? We can shift this data 3 hours back. What do we see now? We see very similar picture to what we started with. We have this spike on the left, we have this spike on the right, but timestamps currently in my local time zone. So I don't know when and why that might be required, but actually you can adjust the settings of this connection. It's never saved because I don't know if it's going to be required a lot, but that's possible now. You can adjust this and you can see data in your local time zone. So you see that happened in my local time zone around 12. In system time, it was around 15. So that's possible. When it actually might be required, let's import the same data from the same system. It's going to take a little bit of time. This trace file can be imported if you didn't know. Name server history. It needs to be parsed first. And now we have this data available. But because of the design of this, it was extracted a little bit earlier. Because of the design, this time is in UTC and it's converted and reported in local time zone. That's how it's done. I have nothing to do with it. That's done by HANA engineers. And this, you can imagine, might be not very useful because if we connect to the same system, we have this data reported around 15 because it is 15 in system time zone. So now what can be done with the same dialog? Oops. We can go over there, and for this data provider, we can adjust it. We can move it for 3 hours. And now we have this spike at 7, and the next one we cannot see. But it is around 15. So this is the functionality. It will be required mostly for the secondary connection if you have one connection to the system with one time zone and a second data provider with secondary connection, I don't know, in different time zone, or you have some data imported in different time zone. So that's possible. And that should be possible to adjust with this dialog, because if you pay attention, it's intended to work with the secondary connection, but that's a whole different topic we will cover later in later video, so take care.